ARK Invest CEO and CIO Cathie Wood weighs in on market volatility, ARK's time horizon, inflation indicators, employment, and the economy. As always, she also discusses fiscal policy, monetary policy, market signals, economic indicators, and much more. She said that M2 is up 27%. So we have seen an acceleration, and the chairman of the Fed is very focused on unemployment. The 10 million jobs still lost related to pre-pandemic as well as homelessness, it seems. What we really want him to focus on is inflation and maintaining economic growth. If the Fed keeps inflation under control, and then real growth is going to be a fairly strong. We did get some inflation indicators. The PPI was much stronger than expected. It was up 1% month to month. This is not a year over year number, 1%. So annualized that would be double digit, and that does sound scary on a year over year basis. Cathie says that we are at 4.3%, so we know that we are in the middle of what's called the base effect. Last year, we had declining prices as we entered the pandemic, and the declines lasted for several months. So now, year over year, we are going to be comparing against negative numbers. We have been saying for some time that inflation will probably increase to the 3 to 4% range. It was 1.7% in February. We'll probably see it accelerate on a year-over-year basis to the 6 to 8% range. The Fed has said that it's expecting this. The markets are taking this quite calmly. Actually, maybe the anticipation of it caused a huge increase in the long-term treasury yield from 0.9% at the beginning of the year to 1.75%. We just got the read on outlays for last month up 63%. Federal outlays of 63% on a year-over-year basis. The deficit is annualizing at about $4 trillion. So that's quite a significant deficit. We are going to see a continued increase in the deficit because now President Biden would like a $2 trillion infrastructure bill. We have never seen spending like this so consistently, from crisis spending to infrastructure spending. We know we are going to have to pay for this somehow sometime. The markets are going to enter a very confusing period. One of the responses to the deficit, of course, is talk about taxes. What we are seeing so far is more on the corporate side in terms of proposals that are being taken seriously. At least the corporate tax rate going from 21% to 28%. It doesn't seem like it will go up that much. The compromise means it's going to center on 25 with a disproportionate hit to companies with branches abroad for foreign taxes. So the incentive is to bring more business back to home. On the individual side, the aim there is to focus on the wealthy, over 400,000 in income per year. Now Cathie points out that what is shocking to many of us is what some states are doing in terms of the taxes. The migration that pandemic sparked is going to accelerate. There's going to be some real turmoil in the states that are no longer attracting capital or people. Like New York State this week proposed a 14.8% tax that would be the highest in the nation and a real turnoff. We have seen the exodus from New York and Connecticut to Florida. We are getting a lot more evidence that this is accelerating, and even ARK itself is thinking about alternatives. Cathie adds up that what we have seen in March daily with data is we are rebounding nicely from what now appears to have been a weather-related hit, and it was hard, especially given the difficulties in Texas. If you look at the Filey Fed, that's the very first indicator that comes out. It's an indicator of real economic activity volume growth. 27 years ago, we are not in uncharted territory, but the rebound that we are seeing here is enormous. The employment report, which is the first major report, much stronger than expected. The expectation for non-farm payroll was an increase of 650,000 and the actual increase was 916,000. At the same time, the average work week went up significantly. First of all, it rarely changes. When it doesn't, it's usually 0.1 hours in any given month. This last month, it was up zero point 0.2 hours. So the companies are again still scrambling to keep up with demand. Demand is getting another push from the stimulus check. So in February, the saving rate dropped significantly to a little over 13%, but we think that was temporary and that it is going to go back above 20%. The summary of what's going on in the economy is that we are in a V-shaped recovery. Taxes are going up. That's an automatic. A debt service is probably going up. The difference between high quality company yields and lower quality company yields was a very narrow spread, and that is going to change given the confusion and turmoil. The other cost factor here is materials commodity prices have been soaring. One of the dampeners out there in terms of inflation is the dollar. It's going up. So that's a counterforce against inflation, as is productivity with strong growth in a V-shaped recovery. We will see strong productivity gains, so those two will be fighting inflation, whereas labor taxes and interest rate and material prices will all be tending to dampen margins. The bad deflation is going to hit those companies that are in harm's way because of innovation. So this is the creative destruction. We have to go back to the last time we saw major innovative platforms evolve. At the same time, there were only 3 back then: telephone, electricity and automobile. But there are 5 now: DNA sequencing, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence plus this blockchain technology. They are going to deliver profound changes in the global economy, including the US. The deflationary forces of 5 innovative platforms are going to be really powerful. Then add on top of that the deflationary forces associated with companies that have not done the right thing over the last 20 years. Now Cathie says that if we are right on this deflation call, then the long-term treasury yield probably is not going to go much above 2.5 or 3%. The valuation of the market could be somewhere in the 30 to 40 times. We are roughly 20 times, a little more than that maybe. But the idea that it could double sounds crazy, but there is a possible rationale out there. We have a 5-year time horizon, and when we flap a minute on the 5th year, we are using really normalized for what we are seeing today. We are assuming that many of these technologies look like they are mature at the end of year 5, when in fact they probably will not be. We are just trying to be conservative. For those who have been concerned about the volatility in the market, the volatility in our strategies, all that did from our point of view is give up bargain prices, so that we started once again to concentrate towards our highest conviction names and got some great opportunities as the rotation into value was taking place. We will use those opportunities every time. Cathie throws a good point here and says that we will use those opportunities every time because our price targets are not going to change. These long-term price targets are based on well-defined cost curve declines and the price elasticity of demand estimates. If we get a chance in either one of these, then of course we'll adjust. But a volatile market is not going to change anything in our 5-year targets. At the end, Cathie concludes that we are very excited about the equity market and also with the innovation. Now I would request you all to let me know your opinion about Cathie's thoughts in the comment section below. Also, one of the most important thing that you should do is smash that subscribe button and press that like button. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, have a great day.